Hello. I listened to Senator Barrasso talk about Obamacare, and I have to tell you, I couldn't agree more. You know, I remember when Obamacare came out, and 380 some $1 billion or million, excuse me, $1 million. And the subsidies were a total loss. It was total BS. The um, the Obamacare plans and premiums were, well, anybody that was around during that time saw it. These people are crazy. They have no idea what works and what doesn't work. And not on top of that, Sleepy Joe Biden decides to make all the rules disappear during COVID. When you got millionaires that are on Obamacare, you got some serious problems. And the Democrats aren't going to win that argument. They want to make this stuff permanent now, and who gets the who gets the who gets the all that money? It's not the American people. Excuse me. All that money goes to the insurance companies, every single penny. And the ironic thing is, President Trump talked about this. He said, why don't we come up with a deal where the American people get to pick their health care coverage. Sounded like a good idea to me. You know, even during while COVID's over, and then of course you had the government shutdown. That's where they wanted to send an extra 1.5 trillion to the illegal immigrants, which would have destroyed rural America as we know it, their healthcare system, because they don't have hardly any hospitals out in the country areas. That includes telehealth and all that by phone stuff. It would have killed all that. What about the health care for the veterans? Well, that probably would have taken a nasty hit too. But when I listen to these people, which I got the volume down now, and they're talking about Obamacare, Markley and Senator Coons and like to stick his head in a ball buffer. And senators like Pocahontas, and there's a lot more. Bernie Sanders, AOC. The idea of universal health care is a disaster. It doesn't work. So what you do is you got a situation like that. And the people, seniors mostly, they were working at some kind of job for 20 some years, and then they retired. The Medicare for All plan I liked because my grandmother, she's not around now, but she was on SSI, but she also got to pick what kind of healthcare plan she wanted. So if she wanted to go with Cigna or Blue Cross, wasn't in her price range, but Cigna was. It's better than a lot of the other ones. She had the right to pick that one. Universal health care would destroy all that. Basically saying one person, the rules for me and not for thee theory. It's basically a commie way of doing things. But that's the way the socialists think. They're a bunch of communists. You actually expect me to go along with that garbage? Healthcare loopholes. And the Democrats, they already know all this, but they don't care. They just want to make the insurance companies richer. These people like Chuck Schumer and, like I said, Pocahontas and the other ones, they can't even keep affordability prices down for regular things in their own states. Think about this. If your prices are skyrocketing, it costs more. Well, I mean, besides New York, there are a bunch of thieves. I'd never live there. But it costs more to live in Connecticut than it does LA or even Florida. I never heard anything, any pieces of legislation saying, well, we're going to lower taxes in Vermont or Connecticut. Cost a fortune to live in those places. I'll never live up there. I don't like the cold. If I ever came into some money, I'd be moving to Florida. I'd be moving to uh, Alabama, someplace like that. I wouldn't be moving to any New England state because they rip people off. You ever hear anybody in New England say, oh, we'll lower water and sewer? We'll lower your gas prices for your utilities. I wouldn't even live in California. New York, they're all ripping people off. Detroit, Chicago, they've all gotten terrible. And crime is out of control in those states, too. Same thing with Washington State and Portland. They're all ripping their people off. Connecticut is more expensive than LA. It's definitely more expensive than Florida. These people are Tea Party people. That's why they do that. They want to keep all the prices the way or extend prices and give the insurance companies a big raise. That is not the way to do business. And it doesn't work. And Joe Biden, what did he do when he was in office? That guy should have stayed on the beach. Doesn't help. Create a healthcare plan where the people can actually pick what they want. Then maybe you'll get some results. After you get away with robbing people blind for so long, people start to wake up and they say, nope, we're not interested in this. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to do a heel toe now, a spin around. I guess that's her decision, but it ain't going to work out. It ain't going to work out at all for them. When you're dealing with people that are literally giving free money to illegal immigrants, which they're already getting everything for free anyway, I don't know why the hell you want to do stuff like that. And then they have children and they get everything for free. You're actually trying to convince me that things were better with Obamacare. Yeah, Obamacare was okay for certain kind of people. On paper, though, it was one of the worst bills ever made. Should have saw it. I mean, they were offering when this thing first came out. It was like a promotional blitz. They were offering people free phones and free shirts and all kind of crap. I was like, hell no. I don't want it. I don't need it. You got to close gaps to make things tighter. If you don't, it's going to be a free for all. But that was Obama's, it was a legacy thing. It had nothing to do with helping the people. And it definitely wasn't no tax program for no rich person. Rich people, they can go out and get any kind of health care program they want. Why would they need Obamacare? Anyways, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's nutty. You turn on President Trump, he's going to show you the door. I would never in my life live up in Connecticut. You know how cold it gets up there? Anyways, they're crazy, all of them. I'm out of here.